Paige, let me start off with saying that I love you. I have known this day was going to get here sooner or later, but who would have thought I would ever be at a loss for words? That's how I feel about you. You're so beautiful, kind, loving, compassionate, reasonable, strong, and so many other things that is just so hard to describe how I feel.
Are you done?
Sam, you better get it, so.
Better.
Yeah, we're getting to work.
Oh, no, I'm not surprised. Okay, we have plenty of time. We have plenty of time. We're not getting picked up till 12.
Call Joanne and tell her about 15.
I mean, thank God you recurled it because it looks like so much better.
You gotta get this right.
Yeah. Make sure it's good fixing too.
I know. And make sure it's right.
Oh, you look so good.
My future husband. Our wedding day is finally here, and as some of our friends might say, it's about time. Who would have thought after all these years that you and I would be here today, about to become husband and wife? Well, I know it may seem crazy, but I had a feeling. You were one of my best friends before becoming my high school sweetheart, then fiance, and now soon-to-be husband.
Thank you. We met when we were both very young, immature, and not entirely sure as to what we wanted out of life. When we got to high school, you were always there to support me in whatever I was doing. You were always there at any football game, especially the Jamboree in Platte County when it was storming, and you stayed through it all. You were there at the game of my life in Lawson, and you were also there at the final game of my football career. Your support did not stop with high school. You came to all of my baseball games in college. I knew this because I could distinctly hear you. The point I'm trying to make out of all of this is that you've seen me at my highest, and you've also seen me at my lowest. And I just want to thank you for everything and for all the good times that we've had together, and for the great times I know we will have.
I cannot move at all.
You see me at my best as well as my worst. We've hit so many milestones and experienced countless moments together, both happy and sad. High school and college graduations, countless birthdays, losing grandparents, becoming an aunt and uncle 5 times, getting engaged, buying our first home, and maybe the most important test of a relationship, surviving the forever-long registering experience at Bed Bath & Beyond. I think it's safe to say you and I can overcome any obstacle when we're working together.
I don't know where each day will start or how each day will end. But what I do know is as long as I have you, I have the world. I can't wait to see your beautiful face walking down that aisle, and I look forward to spending the rest of my life with you.
You've always been my rock, pushing me out of my comfort zone and having more confidence in me than I sometimes do in myself. You value family above all else. You make me laugh every single day. And even after all this time, you constantly remain a gentleman, still rushing ahead of me to open the door and making sure you're walking on the outside of the sidewalk. Our nephews adore you, partly because they know you'll give them whatever it is that they want. These are just a few of the reasons why I love you and why I'm so excited to spend the rest of my life with you. I know you're going to be an amazing husband and an even better dad someday. I feel so blessed that our paths crossed all these years ago. I promise to be a better wife, teammate, and best friend to you each day than the day before. I can't wait to wake up to you each morning and to share many more memories together. Here's to forever.
Today is a joyful day because as one community we are gathered together to celebrate in the celebration of the Mass this sacrament of matrimony between Paige Leanne Messina and Anthony Carl Ziccarelli Jr. I smell love, right? Because every time we find ourselves not only in the celebration of the Mass, but also in the celebration of the sacrament of matrimony, true love is at work, not only in each one of us, but most especially to the couple who are soon to be married to each other.
Paige, Mom and I are so proud of you for everything you've accomplished. You've grown up to be a beautiful woman, inside and out. You have an incredible voice that always brings tears to my eyes. You helped the Royals win a World Series. You are now officially Dr. Paige Zigarelli. And most importantly, you have found the love of your life, Anthony.
I would first like to thank everyone for coming, and to my parents and the Zigarellis for making this day possible. My name's Jackie. I'm Paige's sister. I was 5 years old when Paige was born, living the dream of being the baby, and then you had to come into the picture. Paige, you've grown into a beautiful person, inside and out, and you've never looked more beautiful. Your willingness to help others and your compassion for others is inspiring. I'm so proud of the person you've become. Anthony, you've been such an amazing addition to our family. Our boys absolutely adore you. They literally run into the house all the time saying, "Where's Uncle Ant?" This clearly doesn't make Aunt Paige very happy, but they love you. It sure is heartwarming to know she's found such a wonderful guy to spend her life with.
The movie Cinderella, the movie Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. At the end of the stories, what does it say? And they live happily ever. And that is what we want you to become from this day onwards, to live happily. But that love that you have now must continue to be nourished. That is why each one of you must become a blessing and a gift to one another.
Okay, everybody, I'm Nick. I am Anthony's brother. First off, I really feel old tonight seeing my baby brother getting married, because it's pretty crazy looking back. It feels like yesterday. You know, Paige, I would say welcome to our family, but you've been around like forever. So you've been welcomed from the beginning. But I know how much Anthony loves you, and I'm not a very emotional person. Today I was very emotional for you guys. First in both our families, as you heard Mr. Messina say, the first doctor in our family, Paige, and Anthony is the first Zigarelli, at least in our immediate family, to have his master's that he got this year. So, you know, they have a bright future ahead.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Delaney, and I've had the pleasure of calling Paige my best friend since we were 5 years old. With almost 20 years of friendship comes a lot of stories, but I'll only touch on a few to try and give you an understanding of our friendship. Growing up, we did everything together. Paige is sporty, so as her best friend, of course, there was that time I tried sports. I'm a dancer, so this didn't come as easily as anticipated. I'll never forget the first time Paige's dad told me I could sub in while Paige was shooting a free throw. So naturally, I shot right onto the court without checking in, and I caused the team a technical. Clearly not my thing. Okay. Anyone here knows Paige has the voice of an angel, so there was that time I tried to sing. I'm not going to get into that, but again, I learned I should stick to dance. Although we clearly didn't have much in common in the hobby section, I'd still never choose another person as my +1 on family vacations or to be my carpool buddy. It was in about the 8th grade that I first heard of Zig. Paige was visiting me in Dallas and constantly using my phone to text this mystery man. Let's all take this moment to reflect that I had the cell phone first. Finally, one-upping her. Anyway, it was Anthony. After many years of getting to know him, it's obvious that these two couldn't be a better match. He's one of the most caring guys I've ever met. Paige and I have talked about our wedding days since before I can remember, so I truly couldn't be happier to witness you two testify your love for one another and become husband and wife. Here's to many more years of walking on the right side of the sidewalk, and that in 50 years you look at one another the same way you are today. Cheers.
I, Anthony,
I, Anthony,
take you, Paige,
take you, Paige,
to be my wife.
to be my wife.
I promise to be faithful to you
I promise to be faithful to you
in good times and in bad,
in good times and in bad,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love you and to honor you
to love you and to honor you
all the days of my life.
all the days of my life.
I, Paige,
I, Paige,
take you, Anthony,
take you, Anthony,
to be my husband.
be my husband.
I promise to be faithful to you
I promise to be faithful to you
in good times and in bad,
in good times and in bad,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love you and to honor you
to love you and to honor you
all the days of my life.
the days of my life.
For those of you that I have not had the opportunity to meet yet, I'm Anthony's oldest and better looking brother, Sam. I first met Anthony in the early 90s. Around 9 months before this, our dad had been home more often and on a more regular basis due to a work injury, and I guess my mom just threw him a bone. It was in my first month of high school when our little oopsie arrived. Being 14 years and 3 months older than Anthony, my early experiences with him were different than the typical brother-brother relationship. Our relationship seemed to blossom in a more father-son kind of way, at least from my experience. As time passed, it became clear though that Ant did not need a protector. He's sneaky smart, extremely motivated and ambitious, and freakishly athletic. But he's also centered enough to not use his gifts to abuse people in situations. He's super humble, and he got that from my mom. At some point as an older brother who always felt his role was to protect his younger brother, I saw him become this amazing young man and figured I could just start being more of a friend. Before all this though, something traumatic happened to Anthony around his sophomore year of high school that helped to shape his character and forever change his life and the way he approached it. Paige, from the time you started coming around, it was immediately apparent that you were a force. There's no question that your presence in Anthony's life helped to solidify him and steady him and help him to accomplish the goals he'd set for himself. So Paige, you've been such a fixture in our family for so long that it would be silly to officially welcome you. So I'll just say to you that you make me extremely happy, and I'm very, very glad you're in my life. Your determination and accomplishments have made me and so many people around here so proud. And finally, to the two of you, just know that I'll be here for you in rain or shine until the end of my days. And I hope that the happiness and contentment that oozes out of the two of you when you're around each other never ends. I love and respect you both very much. So in summary, Mom, thanks for throwing Dad that bone. Hey, cheers to Aunt Paige. Let's party.
And I have the honor of welcoming Mr. and Mrs. Anthony and Paige Zuccarelli.